What is going on? It is 12 noon on Wednesday, which means it's time for this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Carissimo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time to help you understand the technical side of the real estate industry. And as we have a real estate renewal deadline literally just weeks away, if that is your deadline, you need to do post-licensing. That's a major requirement. We've got your last chance next week for instructor-led classes before the deadline where you can still sign up. We have a live stream as well as classroom in case you need post-licensing. So get signed up for that if your renewal deadline is September 30th. However, your renewal deadline might not be September 30th. Your renewal deadline is going to be somewhere between 18 and 24 months from the date it is that you get your real estate license. And so we're going to be breaking down today briefly how you figure out what your renewal deadline is, what your expiration date is, but then also what are the requirements, what are the steps, what are the things that you need to do to make sure that investment that you made to get your real estate license wasn't for nothing. Because if this renewal, your first renewal, if you've got continuing education, it's not quite as serious, but for your first renewal, you've got to do what's called post-licensing. And if that is not done by midnight on the deadline, your license becomes null and void. And when it's null and void, the only way to get your real estate license back is to start over from the beginning. To go through the whole process of getting fingerprints, doing your application, retaking the course, retaking the state exam after you study a bunch again for the state exam, because you're probably not going to remember this even though you just had your real estate license. It's probably been 2 years since you had it, so you probably forgot everything you were studying, so you got to study all over again. Maybe it's a little bit easier, but why would you want to go through all that work a second time when you could just do a post-licensing course? Because get this, once you get your license back, you got to do the post-licensing anyways. It doesn't go away. It doesn't matter how many times you get off the merry-go-round and get back on. You have to do post-licensing before your first renewal deadline, otherwise you're going to be back to square one having to get licensed all over again. And when your license goes null and void, any pending deals you have, those poof, vanish into thin air. They're property of your broker. So your broker will still get paid on those deals, but if you do not have an active real estate license, they cannot legally compensate you. So any deals you have right now, you're not able to get paid if you do not have a valid active real estate license. And if you don't complete your post-licensing course by midnight on your deadline, your license becomes null and void. So this is a very serious, very important thing, something that we recommend at Tampa School of Real Estate that you get knocked out and done as soon as possible, because you could actually do this post-licensing course as soon as you get your real estate license. As soon as you're licensed, you're eligible to begin earning your renewal requirement hours, the 45 hours that you need. So we're going to break down today, again, how you figure out what your renewal date is, what the course is that you've got to take. If this isn't your first renewal, you just got to do continuing education. It's a much simpler requirement than for your first renewal. If you got your broker license recently, it's basically very similar to this, except for it's a little longer for the post-licensing. It's 60 hours, whereas if you're just getting your real estate license, you have a sales associate license, and that sales associate license requires 45 hours of post-licensing. So we're going to bring out the whiteboard. We're going to break this all down. Let us know what questions you have in the chat. We've got the chat loaded up here on Facebook. I think YouTube's got a chat or something too. We'll be monitoring that. For any questions it is you guys might have about post-licensing, how you calculate your deadlines, when you have to do the courses by, when you could start them, we're going to try to get all those questions answered for you today. My name is John Carissimo. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. You're watching Ask the Instructor.
You are watching Ask the Instructor. Absorb the knowledge. Become the expert.
And welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor, where today we are talking about your renewal deadline and how it is that you figure that out so that way you don't lose your real estate license. Now, once you do your first renewal, it's just every 2 years after that, which is real simple. Again, it's a lot easier for your continuing education. It's only a 14-hour course. It's like a correspondence course. It's super simple, super easy. And post-licensing, which is the one you have to do first, that's compared to what you've done to get your license, so much easier. And it's going to make so much more sense. You know, one of the biggest complaints that we would get, and it's not really unique to us, it's really all real estate schools that have to teach this certain curriculum regarding laws and rules, because ultimately we want you to pass the exam, and that's what the exam tests you on. That's what the Florida Real Estate Commission requires us to teach in the class. We teach it really well, so you know these laws and you know these rules. But what do you do with these laws and rules? Other than keep yourself from getting in trouble with the Florida Real Estate Commission or maybe not going to jail. That's important. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure none of you want to go to jail, but I'm sure maybe a lot of you tuning in, and let me know in the chat if you are. If you've got your real estate license and you feel like you're not sure what to do or what's next or what you're supposed to be doing, what's going on, Mike? Welcome back. Because if you just got your real estate license and you feel like a deer in the headlights, there's a good reason why. And the reason why probably is because you have not taken post-licensing yet. Now, after post-licensing, this is not going to teach you everything. Do not get me wrong. This will not teach you everything. However, let's talk about the big differences between this course and what your pre-licensing is. So this is for your first renewal. For your first renewal, when you get your real estate license, let's talk about a sales associate license. You do your 63-hour course to get your sales associate license. Take that course, pass your state exam, you get your license, and then immediately you can start post-licensing. So you can start this post-licensing course as soon as you get your real estate license, but it must be completed by the renewal deadline. And again, that deadline is going to be somewhere between 18 to 24 months after you get your license. It's going to depend on what day you get your real estate license, of whether it's closer to 18 months or closer to 24 months. And I know a lot of people, that'd be a question we always get in our pre-licensing class is, all right, well, should I wait to take my state exam? Because if I wait until this day, then I'll have 24 months. Whereas if I take it now, I'll have closer only 18 months. So I want to have those extra 6 months to do the post-licensing. No. That's so wrong. That's how I started in real estate, and it was probably the biggest mistake that I made getting started. And the reason why is this is a requirement. And it's so clear to me now in hindsight why this is such an integral thing to do. Number one, it's something that's required. It's a requirement. So you're going to have to do this course at some point before those 18 to 24 months to keep your real estate license. Otherwise, it goes null and void. You've got to pick up 45 hours of post-licensing credits somewhere, some way, shape, or how. We offer the courses that do that if you need those. We've actually got instructor-led classes, both in person as well as a live stream one that start this coming Monday. This is our last one before the September 30th deadline. So if you want to get into a post-licensing course, an instructor-led post-licensing course, whether you want to do that virtually or join us here in New Tampa, we've got 2 separate classes starting on Monday next week, and those again are the last instructor-led classes you can do before this deadline. We'll have more coming up after that as well if your deadline's in the future, but if your deadline is this month, the September 30th deadline, and that would be if you got your license 18 to 24 months ago from today. So let's talk about that. We're talking about if you've got to do post-licensing, if your renewal deadline is coming up at the end of this month. So let's talk about this month and when you would have gotten your real estate license if you're on this September 30th, 2021 renewal deadline. What that means is you got your real estate license between 18 and 24 months back. So 24 months back is going to basically put us at September 30th of 2019 up until March 31st of 2020. So if this is the time frame that you got your real estate license, that means that your renewal deadline is the deadline that is this month. The September 30th, 2021 renewal date. And this should be, if your course you took for pre-licensing follows the FREC syllabus, this should be covered in Unit 2, where it talks about the licensing process, the requirements, and so on and so forth. Or we've got great info. If you want more info, if you want the condensed, shortened, what do I need to buy? What do I need to do? What do I need to get done to check this off? Let me put this link up here for you. It's postflorida.com. So postflorida.com is our page dedicated to post licensing. It's got a nice, easy video. We're breaking it down a lot more in depth on this Ask the Instructor. That's what we do here. But if you want the condensed version, check out postflorida.com. It's got all the details about the post licensing courses, the options, when the renewal requirements are. We also have a whole bunch of stuff on that site too for helping you find out what your renewal deadline is, looking that up at the DBPR, verifying the hours you might have done already that you've got recorded from somewhere to see if those count towards post licensing or they don't. So all that stuff, we've got a lot of information. Look, this could be a complicated process, but there's no reason you should lose your real estate license because of this post licensing here. This might seem really complicated if this is your first time going through this renewal process, but it's not our first time. So if at any point you guys have questions on this, you need some more help, call us at 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. We have advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that they can, and really help you figure out your plan for getting this course done, which we have a couple options still. It's still, I don't want to say it's early because we're kind of getting down to the last minute here, but if you're a last minute type of person, I am a last minute type of person. If you're like me and you're a last minute type of person, you still got about 2 weeks or so to get this course done. And even if you're not able to do our instructor-led courses next week, maybe your schedule doesn't work or you can't move things around or anything like that. Again, you don't want to lose your real estate license over this, so maybe it makes sense to try to move some things around. If you don't want to do it virtually, we got a great hotel right across the street, very nice Holiday Inn, right across the street, walking distance, literally just walk across the street. You can come take classes. It's Monday through Friday next week. The hours, it's not a full day, but pretty much an all-day type of thing. But you can do that virtually or come join us here in New Tampa. That starts next week. And again, if you've got your renewal before this deadline, we also have an on-demand version, a self-paced, on-demand. It's a more interactive type of course format. It's actually pretty neat because it's broken down into 3 15-hour courses. And these 3 individual 15-hour courses focus on different subjects. And again, getting back to this, the reason why this is such a important course to take is this is the course that teaches you how to use your real estate license. Not what not to do. That's more what pre-licensing is. Pre-licensing is more, all right, well, don't do this and don't do that and don't do this. And if you do this, you can only do it this certain way. It's a lot of things about don't step a toe out of line. That's what pre-licensing is about. And if that's the only information you're operating on in your real estate business, you're going to end up falling on your face so many times. And you might say, well, my broker's got really great training. Of course. I have multiple broker licenses. And my brokerages, we offer lots of training. Training is important for a brokerage, but the training that you're doing at your brokerage or at the Association of Realtors, or maybe you pay a coach. You know, I didn't take post-licensing right away. When I started in real estate, my brokerage didn't offer training. The one that when I was a sales associate, when I first got my real estate license, the brokerage I joined, they had like a couple little like online videos, but it was just like this, the super dated, super cheesy videos. Really wasn't anything worthwhile. It wasn't anything specific to the company. It was just some sales trainer. And then there was this other sales trainer that was maybe a little bit more specific. I did this great little boot camp with him. I had maxed out all my credit cards because I was trying to figure out how to make money with real estate and I couldn't figure it out. And that sales training was a turning point for me because it taught me a lot of the fundamental things about how real estate was practiced, where other things started making sense. But here's the thing. So I wait to the last minute, and I wish I didn't do this when I got my real estate license, because if I had somebody telling me, you know, I don't remember it, but maybe I did have somebody telling me take the post-licensing course right away. But the only thing I remember being in my head is I hated pre-licensing. I hated studying for the state exam. I don't want to take another freck course. I don't want to take another frecking course. Freck, the Florida real estate. Let me stop. If any of you guys know Joe Ossie is one of our instructors who loves to make those cheesy jokes. He'd be cracking up if I had said that right now. But the Florida Real Estate Commission taints their reputation on courses that they require with the pre-licensing, because it is so much about the laws and rules and principles and practices and the basic fundamental things that you need to know, whereas post-licensing focuses on, okay, you've got a real estate license, how do you build a business plan? That's the first thing that we're teaching in post-licensing, is how do you get a business plan so you know what you have to do to get the desired outcome that you want. And getting that desired outcome that you want, it doesn't just happen. You need to know how to do it. And so you start off by planning and trying to figure out the money and how much you want to make and how much you're able to work, and doing the calculations on that, so you have a plan of attack of what you're going to do with your real estate license. But then moving into other topics like, how do you farm for business? How do you find leads? How do you prospect? How do you turn a lead into a contract? How do you follow up? How do you price a property to sell when you have a listing? How do you close buyers faster? How do you convert for sale by owners? How do you convert expired listings? There's so many topics here. And honestly, if you guys want my preference, the instructor-led course is, our on-demand self-paced is a really great option if the instructor-led courses don't fit your schedule, but our instructors really bring this course material to life. And even with the live stream, it's still a very interactive type of format. There's a live chat where you could actually chat with your instructor and the other students in the class. And there's a lot you could take away from this. Now, I know if your renewal deadline is coming up, you're kind of trying to rush through this, but going through this course, this is designed, and this is why you should take it right away. It's designed to teach you the information, at least our curriculum. And this is the great part about post-licensing, is it doesn't have a specific syllabus like pre-licensing, because there is not a state exam. I'll say that again. There's no state exam with post-licensing. You don't have to take a state exam. You just have to take the end of course exam. That's it. No state exam. So again, these topics are more focused on real world things that you need to know to be able to use your real estate license to make money. And now I know some of you guys might be in a boat of, well, I'm not sure whether I want to keep my real estate license, whether I want to do anything with it. Don't let that go away. If you got to the point of getting your real estate license, don't throw away that investment. You could keep your license inactive, where if you're inactive, you don't have to join the Association of Realtors, you don't have to be a member of any boards, you don't have to be with a broker, so you're not paying any monthly fees or anything like that. The only thing you have to do is complete your renewal requirements, which the first one is post-licensing, and then every 2 years after that, a 14-hour continuing education course. And the continuing education course is real simple. We've got a little correspondence book we could mail out to you, and there's just a 30-question exam you have to complete. It's an open book exam, literally open book exam for the continuing education. So that's definitely a really easy course to do. And we also have some online options with a bunch of a la carte different courses that you can mix and match to take all kinds of different electives if you're interested in learning maybe more about property management, or maybe more about eco-friendly features, or maybe working with veterans. There's a lot of different little courses you could pick up some information on for continuing education. But again, that's a pretty easy one to meet. And even if you don't hit your continuing education deadline, your license doesn't immediately go null and void. It just goes inactive. So you can't use it, but all you got to do, at least within the first year, is just do your continuing education and pay a late fee, and you get your license back. Post-licensing, on the other hand, for your first renewal, you don't get your license back if you don't do this on time. You don't do this by midnight on the deadline, you go null and void, and the way to get it back is by starting over from scratch. And most people, if that happens to them, they don't go back and go through that process again, because it does get harder, it does get more difficult. I've been teaching these courses and overseeing this curriculum for many years now, and I've seen it transform over the years to become more complex and more convoluted, and there's new laws and there's new rules and there's constantly new things that are being added, and the expectation of a real estate sales associate keeps going higher and higher and higher. So what that means is, if you let your license go today and you want to get it back 5 years from now, it might be significantly more difficult to earn that license all over again. There might be different requirements. They've been known to change requirements before regarding the licensing process. So what you've attained, you don't want to let that go. And this course is the only thing that stands in your way of knocking out the renewal requirement. Also paying the renewal, it's I think like $50 or something like that you pay to the state of Florida, to the DBPR, the Department of Business Professional Regulation, to renew the license, but you could only renew it once you have 45 hours of post-licensing required. And again, that's what the hour requirement is on this. So that's a little bit more detail about what the requirements are and regarding that course. And again, for that most immediate deadline, now maybe you're tuning in and you just got your real estate license, or maybe you got it last summer, maybe you got it last Christmas, or whenever it is that you maybe got it. Your renewal deadline is going to depend upon the date that you got your real estate license. And there's a few different options out there of what your renewal deadlines might be. We're going to go over that next, of how you figure out your specific deadline, not just really how it's calculated, but how do you really check it? Where do you go when you just want to find out what's my renewal deadline, how many hours do I have, what do I need to do to satisfy the state of Florida? Look, I'm not here for you to make me happy. I want you to take post-licensing because I know it's going to help you grow your business, but if you don't want to take it, I'm not the one who takes your license away. That's the state of Florida. So this course is very important to keeping your real estate license. It's essential. It's required. It's a requirement. It's a necessity to keep your real estate license, but it can be so much more than that, especially when you time it right in your real estate career. So we're going to talk about those renewal deadline next, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching Ask the Instructor. Have you completed your post-licensing education yet? Look, I know you're probably thinking, hey, it's not my renewal deadline. I don't need to do post-licensing yet. But look, here's why you want to do post-licensing as soon as you've got your real estate license, as soon as you're able to take post-licensing. It's not just another course about arbitrary laws that you're never going to use again. It's about real-world, usable topics that'll help you grow your real estate business, to help you take it to the next level. Look, let me ask you this one question. If this course helps you close just one deal, if you get one extra deal from post-licensing, is it worth the investment? I'd say it is. We get paid pretty well, so one deal means a lot of money. Check out postflorida.com. That's postflorida.com for the full details about post-licensing. And welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Carissimo, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. You can check us out online at tsre.us, or you can just spell out tampaschoolofrealestate.com as well, or just search us up, Tampa School of Real Estate. Matter of fact, go ahead, Google us. Google us, because then you'll see all the third-party reviews and credibility and validation, because I know some of you guys might be stumbling upon this video just on YouTube or just on Facebook or wherever it is you might be finding us on the internet, and you're maybe wondering, is this guy the real deal? Who is this Tampa School of Real Estate? I don't even live in Tampa. Why am I getting his videos? Why are they trying to contact me about post-licensing? We're here to help, and not just in the Tampa Bay area. That's just where we got started. That's just where we're headquartered from. That's just our home. But we serve the entire state. Matter of fact, we actually serve the entire world. I've talked to just recently students that we've had from Israel attending our live stream and online courses, from China, from Japan, from literally all over the planet. Now, they are just here getting a Florida real estate license, but Florida is such a destination, and that's, again, really why this license that you earn is such a gift, such a huge opportunity that you have if you know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, it really just is more of a burden. It's just another thing that you got to do stuff for to keep it. You got to do stuff, you got to spend money, and if you don't have any opportunity coming from your real estate license, why would you keep your real estate license? Well, even if you don't plan on practicing real estate, let me ask you this question. Are you interested in ever buying real estate? Because if you're ever interested in buying real estate, there's an amazing benefit of having a real estate license. Some of you, if you have your real estate license, this might be the reason why you got your real estate license in the first place. Or maybe no one ever shared with you this little detail, or maybe you didn't catch it, or maybe you didn't just realize that opportunity. That's what post-licensing is there to help you understand. There's benefits to your own endeavors, because when you're a member of the MLS, so when you have a real estate license and you're a member of the MLS, the Multiple Listing Service, the Multiple Listing Service has pre-negotiated commissions that are paid by the seller. So if you are planning on buying, let's say, a $333,000 house, I like using this number because it makes the math nice and round and even. But I also like using this number because if you're in Hillsborough County, the average price is about $330,000. So this is about what an average price home is. Maybe you're buying something more expensive. Maybe you're buying something less. And here's the benefit. This isn't just a one-time benefit. This can be used again and again and again and again and again, over and over and over and over and over. Now, it does require an active real estate license. So if you don't have an active real estate license, you cannot do this. However, if you do have an active real estate license, and it doesn't always have to be active, you just need to have it active at the time that you want to use it. If there is a 3% commission pre-negotiated in the MLS, that means you, as a potential buyer, can represent yourself and apply that commission that you're earning toward your down payment and closing cost. It's like 3%, or it might not always be 3%. This is a negotiated amount, so it could be less than that, it could be more than that, but this is a pretty typical number that you'll see. Maybe it's 2.5, maybe it's 3.5, maybe more, maybe less. It depends on the property. It depends on the agreement that listing agent made with the seller. But let's say it's 3%, again, a pretty typical number, that's $10,000. Now, depending on an agreement with your broker, because you would have to be active with a broker to be able to take advantage of this. However, you might be with a 100% broker, or you might be with a broker that allows for a personal deal incentive. Most brokers, even when they have a commission split or something like that, they have some sort of personal deal incentive. So you keeping your real estate license isn't just worth the business that you might not ever do because you're not sure whether or not you want to practice real estate. But let me ask you this question. Are you sure that someday you want to buy a home? Are you sure that someday you would want to own real estate? Maybe not just your own. Maybe you want to do this for investment properties. 3% is a huge number in terms of investment. That's an extra 10 grand there. And now, if we're talking about, there's loans out there where there's zero money down required. So this could be going all towards your closing costs where you have no money out of pocket to buy a property. And even if you have a low money down loan, they have smaller percentage points. An FHA loan, the minimum is only 3.5%. And that's guaranteed, or not guaranteed, insured by the federal government. Let me use my words correctly for all of you guys that might be studying for your real estate exam still. This is insured, the FHA loan program, by the federal government. And so this is a program that has a lot of availability, a lot of options. And here's the other part of having your real estate license. You realize the opportunities that are out there, the different mortgage brokers, the different programs, the different options. You might not have figured it out yet, but trust me, it's out there. You just need to be looking in the right places. You need to know where to look, and that's what your post-licensing course is designed to do, to help you understand where it is that you need to look to find these deals, to find these opportunities, to find the things you could do with your real estate license. Again, this is where literally everyone can benefit. I mean, you factor in, it's a few $100s to get your real estate license, a couple hundred to complete your post-licensing. Yes, you would be maybe joining the Association of Realtors to access the MLS so you could have these negotiated agreements, but that is not necessarily a requirement. This can be done without paying for the realtors in the MLS as well. And all you've got to do is, again, a couple $100s, and this isn't limited to just one time. You could do this every single time you buy a property. If there's a pre-negotiated commission, you could put dibs on that and put it towards your closing cost and down payment. I mean, that's a huge advantage right there. And because if you are actively practicing real estate, you'll have even more and greater opportunities because of the tools, the technology, the reach that you have, the network that you'll have developed. And this can all be done part-time. That's how a lot of people practice real estate. There's a lot of people with a real estate license, but not everyone is a top producing, full-time, doing everything every day real estate type of agent. There's a lot of people that just do real estate on the side to make some extra money, use it for their own benefit, use it for their own investment, and take advantage, again, the subsequent opportunities that exist from having that license. And again, taking this course as soon as you're licensed or before the renewal deadline. So again, from date licensed to the renewal deadline. That is your window to get this done so you don't lose your real estate license. And the trick to this, so I'm assuming most of you guys have a license already. If you don't have a license, we've done videos on this before of how you go the 2 years ahead and fall back. Because your renewal deadlines are going to be one of these two dates. They're either going to be March 31st or September 30th. That's it. Those are the two renewal deadlines, and that is it. One of these two dates, either the end of March or the end of September. Your renewal is going to be one of those two dates based on the date it is that you get your real estate license. And again, it's somewhere between 18 to 24 months after you get your real estate license. And within, I think it's 90 days of your renewal deadline, you're able to pay the renewal fee. So you could do your post-licensing as soon as you're licensed, but the renewal fee, that they don't take payments on that until I think at least 90 days out from the renewal deadline. But the easiest place to really check this, I'll give you this link right here. So this is another page we've got set up. It's going to be tsre.us/verify. tsre.us/verify. And this page, right at the top, you're going to see a great big screen recording that shows you how to do a lookup on the DBPR of your hours. So you can actually log into your DBPR account. And the DBPR's website, that's the myfloridalicense.com. The Department of Business Professional Regulations, that would have been where you did your application for your license in the first place. And so this is a screen recording of how to use that website to actually locate, because it's not the easiest, it's not the most user-friendly. The whole DBPR as a whole, no offense, government, but you're not doing the best job with your infrastructure and systems and policies and procedures and so on and so forth. They're not the easiest to find what you need, work with it and whatnot, so we want to help make that easy. So that's why we put together this screen recording to show exactly click here, click here, click here, there's your hours. Here's your hours, and it says how many you have on file, how many you're deficient. And it'll actually show you what courses you actually even have reported to your license. So if one of those are missing, you know me and what I think and believe about Tampa School of Real Estate, that we're the best there is. But despite that, there's still situations where the DBPR systems, they're not the most advanced, they're not the most high tech, they're a little out of date, and so sometimes the data doesn't sync correctly. And so we always recommend everyone, whether you took a course with us or another school or wherever it is you took your courses, review this so you can actually find out, are your hours recorded? Are your hours actually on there, so that way you're not going to have any issues losing your real estate license? Because if you did get the course done, that's what really matters. That's what's really important, that you got the right course done. As long as you got the right course done that counted for the hours, even if it doesn't get reported, it could be fixed. It's going to be null and void until they get it fixed, and it's usually like 2 weeks or so, sometimes 3 weeks, for the DBPR to go back and correct it in their system, but that can be handled as long as you have done the actual course. However, if you did not do the course, you're SOL, for lack of a better term. You're out of luck, and you're not able to do anything other than start over from the beginning of getting your real estate license. And unless maybe you're like in the hospital or dying and you've got like doctor's notes and things like that, then you might be able to get a 6-month hardship extension. But those 6-month hardship extensions, those are very difficult, if not impossible, to obtain. However, if you're in the situation where you already missed your deadline, we always recommend trying for it and going for it. It's going to be a lot easier than having to go through that whole pre-licensing course all over again, and hopefully they do grant you a hardship extension, but typically they do not grant hardship extensions unless it's very, again, life or death like type of situations. So we always recommend to apply for it, but if you have not hit your renewal deadline yet, don't even think about a hardship extension, because you probably won't get one. Most of the time, those get declined. And if you already did it, well, let's be positive, let's try. But if you still have time before your deadline, don't even think about a hardship extension, because those are not guaranteed by any means. If you do your course, you complete your course by the deadline and pay your renewal fee, it's guaranteed you will not lose your real estate license. Even if it doesn't get reported correctly, it'll get fixed later, and within about 2 weeks, everything will be all back to normal, as long as the course is dated for the time you complete before your renewal deadline. Doesn't matter if you do it after the fact, unless they do give you a hardship extension, but like I said, those are pretty much impossible to come by. So let's talk about some of these other deadlines. Again, the easiest way to find that out is tsre.us/verify. Let's put some dates up here for you. Since I am the instructor and we could do it the old-fashioned way like we teach in the course. So let's ask the instructor, how do we calculate renewal deadline? So this is good if you need to study for passing your state exam. This is something maybe on your state or class exam for pre-licensing. But remember, post-licensing doesn't have a state exam. Post-licensing, there will be some laws covered in there. but it's not the emphasis on laws like it is in pre-licensing. It's much more about practicing real estate and how to use your real estate license to make money. And again, you could do this as soon as you have your real estate license. So I know this topic today is on what's my renewal deadline, and this is the final deadline that you must get it done by. However, don't let these deadlines get in your head because, believe me, they creep up faster than you'd believe. And on top of that, you want to take this course sooner rather than later because, again, it's got so much information to help you establish yourself in real estate, to understand better what you're doing with your license, what the right broker is for you, what are the opportunities if you're not even looking at practicing real estate, maybe just for yourself, maybe for doing referrals. So maybe just referring the business out, literally doing no work other than signing a referral agreement with another agent, and then the other agent does all the work and you get kicked back like 25, 30, 20%, whatever it is you agree to. That can be very powerful. So let's talk about, again, what these other deadlines might be. So we've got the new renewal deadline. The next one coming up is September 30th of 2021. And then there's a deadline of March 31st of 2022. And then we've got a deadline of September 30th of 2022. And I think right now we still have people, I think not just for the March 31st of 2023, that might be the window we're at right now. If you're getting your license right now before the end of the month, I think this is going to be what your deadline is. We'll go through these here and work it all out. So again, this is between 18 and 24 months back. So if we go back 24 months here for each of these renewal deadlines. This first one, September 30th, we've already covered this one. This is, again, when you got your license as far back as October 1st of 2019. So October 1st of 2019 up until March 31st of 2020. And then the next set of renewal deadlines here is going to be if you got your license between April 1st of 2020. So picking up right here, so we go right down to boom. That's where we kick into this deadline, and that goes all the way up until September 30th of 2020. So if you got your license basically like last summer between April and September, your deadline is going to be the March 31st of 2022. If your deadline is September 30th of 2022, that means that your renewal, that is as far back as October 1st of 2020, through March 31st of 2021. So again, picking up right there. And then finally, I think that brings us right to where we are currently right now. If you got your license basically just this year, anytime after April 1st or after of 2021 until September 30th of 2021, you're going to be on the March 31st of 2023 deadline. So this is going to be what your deadline is to complete that post-licensing course by based on these dates that you might have got your license. So again, the renewal deadline that comes up literally in just like 15 days. Is it 15? Yeah, 15 days away. We're 15 days away from the next renewal deadline. You still have time if this is you. We have post-licensing courses that are instructor-led starting on Monday, an in-person one here in New Tampa. We got a great hotel right across the street, and we also have a live stream one where you can attend the class virtually. It's a separate class just dedicated to live streaming. We don't mix the classroom and live stream there. With the live streaming instructor there is dedicated to the students there on the live stream. There's an interactive chat. So we could literally bring the classroom to you wherever it is that you are. As long as you have an internet connection, you could log in and join the class. It's Monday through Friday next week. And again, this is a fairly easy requirement to knock out. It's significantly easier than getting your real estate license because there's no state exam. There is an end-of-course exam, but again, the content in this course isn't the laws and rules and principles and practices that you learn so much about in pre-licensing. This is more the exciting stuff of what do I actually do with my real estate license. So even if this is you, this is your deadline, you maybe just got your license in the last 6 months. You literally have the farthest out deadline right now, but you are the audience that I would give the strongest advice to hey, get in that post-licensing course as soon as possible. And really anyone here, everyone on this page here, if you're eligible to take post-licensing, if you've already got your real estate license, get it done, get it over with, not just to get it over so you don't have to worry about the deadlines, but also so you learn the information that's going to help you establish the foundation of your real estate business. Again, that's what the post-licensing course is designed to do. Let's see if you guys had any other questions on the chat here. Jose going for his exam. Good luck for you, Jose. You guys got this. If you guys need help studying for your exam, definitely check out our Pass First Try study tools, passfirsttry.com. Everything that we do at Tampa School of Real Estate, we don't try to just get by. We try to do it the best we can, as big as we can, as much as we can, to make it the best experience we possibly can, because we want to set our students up for success, not just in passing an exam, but establishing a successful real estate business, because that's the reason you're doing any of this stuff here. That's why I'm here to tell you this isn't just a requirement. This isn't just a box to check off. This is an experience that will help you understand how to use your real estate license more effectively, to realize more opportunities and actually make money. I know some of you, maybe you just got your real estate license. You maybe have a lot of money invested and you're like, when am I going to start making money? When am I going to get something out of this here? The post-licensing course, if you haven't taken that yet, you're literally holding yourself back. Because this, again, has so much fundamental information that's going to be a requirement. So would you rather wait for 2 years? Because if you're joining the Association of Realtors, they bill you semi-annually. So they're going to keep billing you whether you know what you're doing or not, whether you're making money with your real estate license or not. Same thing with whatever brokerage you may be at or whatever the case may be. Because this is your business. You're the one that's in charge of this here. Even when you're registered with a broker, you're still having an expectation of you being in charge of your business and you bringing a certain level of understanding to the table. Because if you don't, even if your broker does have training, it's not going to make as much sense. It's not going to click as much because you might be missing some of these fundamental pillars that help you understand at a larger level. Whatever brokerage you're at, this post-licensing course will help you be better at that brokerage. Whatever tools they offer, whatever systems they offer. This is a very generic, very universal course that teaches, again, fundamental principles of real estate sales. And it meshes with any teachings that exist in real estate here. And look, even if there's something in this course that you don't agree with, that you don't like, you don't have to use it in your business. It's just there to make you aware of how it can benefit you, how it's maybe been proven before to benefit others. And that's what post-licensing is about. Look, when I got started in real estate, I had a big head on my shoulders and I thought I knew everything. Part of the reason why I joined a brokerage that I wasn't looking for the brokerage that had the best training. I was just looking for a brokerage because I'm like, all right, I just need a brokerage and I'm going to get this all figured out because I'm awesome. And that was a great attitude to have, however, not without the right information. As ignorant as I was, especially looking back on it today of how little I actually knew, I'm surprised I even got as successful as I did as quickly as I did. But it's once I took the initiative to seek out the information that I needed, when I took a step back and realized, hey, you know what? I don't know everything. I actually have no idea what I'm doing because it turns out my real estate business has done nothing but help me max out my credit cards and made me not know what to do and afraid and give me some anxiety and all these things that happen when you literally go into this blind. And that is not setting you up for success, which is why we harp on you for post-licensing. That's why we're here saying post-licensing, post-licensing, post-licensing. Because yes, it's covered in the course. Any school you go to, they should tell you that post-licensing is a requirement you've got to complete. That's literally something they might test you on the exam, and so it should be taught every curriculum, wherever the school may be, unless they're just not teaching the FREC syllabus. You should have learned that post-licensing is a requirement. And that it's a requirement, this is where it's really important for your success. It's a requirement that can be done by the deadline, but is most effective, when is most useful, when it helps you generate the most momentum is when you first get your real estate license, because the curriculum is literally designed for somebody who just came out of pre-licensing, who needs to know what to do with their real estate license. Maybe you're still choosing a broker. This will help you better understand what the broker is going to be the best fit for you. Maybe you're already registered with a broker and they got great training. Well, good. This is going to help you better understand that training because you'll understand the fundamentals of real estate rather than just the more specific details that they're going to be teaching about their systems, their tools, their technology, and their ways of doing business. And that's not necessarily meant to, that won't contradict with the post-licensing because, again, the post-licensing is more about the things that you're doing literally pretty much everywhere. Maybe some of the details are going to be slightly different. But if anything, that's just giving you a different perspective of how real estate might be done at other institutions for anything you might find different between what might be taught in post-licensing and what your broker may do. So it's further expanding your knowledge and understanding so you can better realize the opportunities that are out there. So that's post-licensing. That's how you figure out your renewal deadline. Again, probably the best place to start if you have to do post-licensing is postflorida.com. That's postflorida.com. That has all the details, the steps, the condensed version of what you need to do to complete your post-licensing requirement. So a lot of really great info. Again, that link is postflorida.com. Check that out. Again, a lot of good info in there to help you understand your renewal deadline, how these post-licensing courses can benefit you, whether you are practicing real estate or you're just you have your real estate license and you're not sure what to do with it or how you might use it or if you want to keep it or anything like that. If you've got questions on any of this, we have advisors here. We encourage people to call us. I know some schools, they might say, oh, well, chat with us instead, or submit a ticket, or send an email, or anything like that. Call us up, 813-333-2676. We have advisors standing by to answer any questions you have, assist you in any way it is that you can. If you're not sure whether you're taking the right courses, maybe you feel like you've been abandoned by wherever it is that you're trying to get this stuff figured out with, that's not at all how we like to operate here at Tampa School of Real Estate. We treat our students like they're part of our family, and we want to look out for you. And we're here to help you through every stage and every step of your real estate career in any way it is that we can, even if it just means answering some questions for you. So again, call us up, 813-333-2676. We've got professionals standing by to answer any questions you have about the renewal process. Maybe you're still getting your real estate license or you're studying for your exam. These are people with real estate licenses and instructor licenses themselves. We have a great team here at the office. You want to come by and visit us? We're right here in New Tampa off of Bruce B. Downs and Highwoods Preserve Parkway, right where I-75 and Bruce B. Downs intersect. You can find our website address online at tampaschool.com, or again, just call us up, 813-333-2676. It's about all the time we've got for today. But again, if you have questions, call us. Visit us online. If you prefer to chat, we've got a chat on our website. You could text us. You could call us. You could stop in the office here. You could write us a letter even if you like. You can write us an email. However you want to get in touch with us, we're here to serve you in whatever way it is that we can, however it is that we can. So let us help you get your post-licensing course done as soon as you can. If you're still studying to get your real estate license, we actually have some great packages that include post-licensing and save you some money when you commit to that in advance. So definitely call us up, 813-333-2676. It's about all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I'll see you on Friday for State of Real Estate. Have you completed your post-licensing education yet? Look, I know you're probably thinking, hey, it's not my renewal deadline, I don't need to do post-licensing yet, but look, here's why you want to do post-licensing as soon as you've got your real estate license, as soon as you're able to take post-licensing. It's not just another course about arbitrary laws that you're never going to use again. It's about real-world, usable topics that'll help you grow your real estate business, to help you take it to the next level. Look, let me ask you this one question. If this course helps you close just one deal, if you get one extra deal from post-licensing, is it worth the investment? I'd say it is. We get paid pretty well, so one deal means a lot of money. Check out postflorida.com. That's postflorida.com for the full details about post-licensing.
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida real estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
All Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're gonna love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots. Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Find out what it takes at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Charisma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.